They say the mind is like a wild horse, powerful but uncontrollable. Most people spend their lives being dragged wherever it wants to go. But one boy learned how to tame it. And once he did, his life changed forever. In a quiet little town, surrounded by gentle hills and the chatter of ordinary life, there lived a boy named Ryan. Everyone knew him as the smart one, the kind of boy who could understand things others struggled with. His teachers saw a spark in him. His parents believed he would go far, and deep inside, Ryan believed it too. He wanted to become a doctor. That dream wasn't just an idea. It was his purpose, his future. But even the brightest fire can be buried under its own smoke. Ryan had one problem that none of his teachers could see and none of his grades could hide. His mind, his greatest gift, refused to obey him. Every time he sat down to study, it wandered away like a restless bird. One moment, it drifted toward his phone, a quick check of Facebook, a short YouTube video, a few messages with friends. The next moment, he'd be lost in daydreams about the future he wasn't working toward. He told himself, "There's still time. I'll start later," but later became tomorrow, and tomorrow became next week. Slowly, without realizing it, Ryan's dream was slipping away, not because he wasn't smart enough, but because he couldn't master his own mind. Then, one day, the results of the scholarship exam were announced. Ryan walked into school with hope in his chest. He had imagined this day many times, his name at the top of the list, his teachers smiling proudly, his parents' eyes shining with joy. But when he looked at the result sheet, his heart froze. His name wasn't there. He had failed. That single word hit harder than anything he'd ever felt. Around him, his friends cheered. They had passed, some even with flying colors. The same teachers who once praised Ryan now looked at him with quiet disappointment. That evening, he sat alone by his window, staring out at the empty street. The laughter of other children felt far away. He whispered to himself, "I'm not stupid, so what went wrong?" And in that silence, he finally saw the truth. Intelligence wasn't the problem. His undisciplined mind was. That realization changed something inside him. For the first time, he stopped blaming the world and started questioning himself. The next morning, Ryan woke up before sunrise. The failure still burned inside him, but now it felt different, like a spark trying to ignite something new. He knew what he had to do. He didn't need more talent. He needed discipline, but he also knew he couldn't do it alone. So he started searching for someone who could help him, not just with studies, but with his mind. That's when he heard about Coach Miller, a physical education teacher known for transforming lazy, distracted boys into focused, determined students. People said he had a way of changing not just the body, but the spirit. When Ryan met him, Coach Miller greeted him with a calm smile, the kind that said he'd seen hundreds of boys like Ryan before. "Coach," Ryan said softly, "I just can't focus. Every time I try to study, my thoughts scatter everywhere. How do I fix this?" Coach Miller didn't answer immediately. Instead, he gestured for Ryan to follow him to the school playground. The morning air was cool, filled with the smell of grass and the echo of distant birds. From a small storage room, the coach brought out a toy bow and arrow. Ryan looked confused. "Let's see how focused you really are," Coach said, placing a wooden target in the distance. "If you can hit the center, you'll understand something important." Ryan took a deep breath, pulled the string and released. The arrow flew, but missed the center completely. Coach asked quietly, "What were you looking at when you shot?" Ryan hesitated. "The trees, the field, and the target." Coach smiled knowingly. "That's your problem. You're looking at everything at once. When the eyes have too many targets, the mind has none. A good athlete sees only one thing, the center." He walked closer, placed a hand on Ryan's shoulder and said, "Your mind is doing the same thing. When you study, it looks at your phone, at YouTube, at all the noise around you. If you want success, you must learn to see only your goal, nothing else." The words hit deep. Ryan stood there in silence, feeling the truth echo inside him. For the first time, he understood that focus wasn't a gift, it was a skill to be trained. Ryan looked up at the coach and asked quietly, "Where do I start? How do I train my mind?" Coach Miller smiled as if he'd been waiting for that question. "There's no magic trick, Ryan. Just 4 rules. Follow them every day and you'll never lose focus again." He raised one finger. "First, control your thoughts. When your mind wanders, bring it back. Don't fight your distractions. Guide them home. Every time you catch yourself drifting, remind yourself, 'This is my study time. This is my goal.'" Then another finger. Second, build a routine. Don't leave your focus to chance. Make a daily schedule and protect it. When your brain knows what to expect, it stops resisting. That's how discipline begins. A third, remove distractions. You can't fight a battle surrounded by enemies. Keep your phone away, turn off the noise, make your space sacred. Every moment you take back from distraction is a step closer to mastery. Finally, a fourth, and last, practice daily. You can't tame the mind in one day, but each small effort adds up. Like a muscle, discipline grows when you use it. Ryan listened to every word as if it were oxygen. That night, he started small. A simple routine, a quiet desk, a mind trained to return every time it wandered. It wasn't easy. The first week felt like a war inside his own head. But each day, the battle grew easier. Each victory, no matter how small, gave him strength. Weeks turned into months. The boy who once couldn't sit for 10 minutes was now studying for hours. He wasn't chasing his mind anymore, it was following him. And when the next big exam came, Ryan walked in calm, confident, and focused. This time, when the results were announced, the crowd cheered his name. He had not only passed, he came first. And in that moment, Ryan knew it wasn't luck, and it wasn't just talent. It was discipline. Quiet, consistent, unstoppable discipline. A year later, as he stood on stage receiving his scholarship, Ryan remembered Coach Miller's final lesson. The mind is like a wild horse. If you let it run free, it will drag you wherever it wants. But if you train it, it will carry you exactly where you need to go. From that day forward, Ryan lived by one simple rule: train your mind with discipline, and success will follow you.